Hey guys, JB here from Alpha Wolf Consulting, coming to you today with activity 4 from the self belief course, which is breaking limiting beliefs. So, in the last lesson, we learned about how do we identify a limiting belief and what even is a limiting belief. And we found that a limiting belief is just a belief that is rooted within our subconscious mind, where we don't really understand that belief because our subconscious mind only has access to our feelings and emotional states and our behaviors. So we don't understand logically what it is. So to understand this is just to understand that if I'm feeling insecure about myself when I am moving towards what I want to move towards in life, when I'm pushing towards achieving a goal, okay, there may be a limiting belief, or there is a limiting belief which is making me feel insecure, making me feel not good enough. And the only way to identify that limiting belief is for me to analyze and reverse engineer those feelings to understand what are causing or influencing those feelings, those variables. Okay, those thoughts, those narratives, those language patterns, those stories that we tell ourselves. And the only way to break that limiting belief is to program that story to be one of, instead of limitations, of empowerment, because we understand that a limiting belief is just an experience that we believe is emotionally traumatic. So what happens is that experience gives rise to a new belief that protects us moving forward. So a limiting belief is just a false sense of protection, or a belief that is meant to protect us, but essentially ends up limiting us in life. So to break these limiting beliefs, we just have to first identify, well, what are they? Once we identify what are they and the root, experience that caused that limiting belief to come about, then what we have to do is start curating a new story, a new belief, by using our thoughts, our language patterns, the language we use, understanding, the narratives and the stories we're telling ourselves and the meaning that we give to it. So by reassigning the narrative and the meaning, we are able to redirect that limiting belief from being one that is based out of fear to one that is based out of empowerment. And what we're able to do is create beliefs, new beliefs that empower us to grow and develop rather than limiting us, in growth and development. So it's very, very important to be able to understand the first step of identifying the limiting belief and how we do that. And then when we're looking at actually breaking it, it is quite simple. So all we got to understand is how to identify the limiting beliefs. Once we've identified the limiting belief, then all we have to do is write down those limiting beliefs to the feelings that I feel. We have to understand the link between the feeling and the belief. When we've understood the link between the feeling and the belief, when I feel that feeling, I know that belief or that narrative or that story is running in my subconscious mind. So what I have to do is consciously reprogram that limiting belief into an empowering belief. So we write down all the limiting beliefs, all the feelings that we have. When we're feeling low, when we're feeling down, we write it down. We write down the associated belief or story or narrative that comes to mind every time we feel that way. And then we write in a new belief, an empowered belief. And every time I feel insecure, I I tell myself the empowered belief. I build myself up. And what we're doing is over time, I'm reconditioning from when I feel disempowered to running a disempowered narrative to when I feel disempowered, I now run an empowered narrative. So it's not overly difficult for us to do this. It just takes time and effort for us to understand everything. So all we got to do is work on our past experiences. So understanding, like what are the experiences that are causing these negative emotions? Okay. What is the meaning I've given to these experiences? So if people made fun of me when I was a child for the way I dressed, or maybe, my appearance, then I've got to work out, okay, well, what are the stories that I've created around that experience? And how do we start reprogramming or reinitializing new stories to be ones of empowerment that empower us moving forward? And we just have to let go to the past. The past is sort of like, a love you don't want to be with. It's irrelevant. If you don't want to be with someone, don't be with them. If you don't want to feel disempowered and limited in life, stop feeling disempowered and limited in life. Choose to consciously feel that when I feel insecure about myself, I'm going to tell myself empowerment. I'm not going to double down on the insecurity and start tearing myself down. I'm just going to empower myself to move forward and move forward in an empowered way. And that's the point of breaking limiting beliefs, is that we just want to empower ourselves to move through life more confidently, but also to be able to curate the life that we dream and desire of. All right. So have a go at this. Okay. Use this practice with the lesson before on identifying the limiting beliefs and the two before on creating the beliefs. And all we're trying to do is create an environment where we are built up by our external environment, by the thoughts and narratives and meaning that we run in life. All right. You guys have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks so much. Bye.